Is the sheep preaching hate? He says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore. If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop them. Do whatever you have to do to stop them. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate. He's violent.
My thing is this. He says, shall we begin? Not only is this, shall we begin, but as soon as he says, shall we begin, he's saying he's going to expose some truth, right? My goodness, y'all. Can you believe that his shall we begin? He puts the truth, whatever he sees as the truth, as behind a paywall. He didn't even put it out here public for everybody to hear the truth, to get the receipts, to get the knowledge of what truly took place with him and between him and Pastor Rufus. He decides to put this damn thing behind a paywall. And if I was his manager, I would tell him that this is a terrible PR move, Dowell. We got to actually come up with some real evidence, Dowell. We can't just sit here and talk, Dowell. We got to do something that's going to make a difference. You understand what I'm saying? That would have been my advice if I was his PR, right? If I was his PR, if I was his manager, if I was Dowell's manager, y'all, I would advise him to actually come out with something real, not to just talk, okay? Now, my thing is this, right? This video was shared on Patreon. He put this thing behind a paywall. I want you guys to listen into what his version is of the truth. And now, listen, we're just going to touch on this because obviously he thinks he's got some idiots, amongst him. Obviously he thinks you guys are half-wits. Whoever is subscribed to his Patreon, he believes yourself to be half-wits. And I'm literally curious as to why he even came out and said what he said. Listen, this is crazy. I'm just going to go ahead and play this thing, okay? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to share it because a lot of you ain't heard this. A lot of you haven't come across this just yet. And unfortunately, we know for sure that he can't handle it. So unfortunately, there's nothing he can do. The more you come out here and lie, the more we're going to expose your lies. You understand what I'm saying? Now you see that this is him. This is Dowell, right? He's sitting in his little chair. Okay. I'm sure that Kabir bought him. Kabir, the sugar daddies, sugar baby. I'm sure that's who bought the chair for him. And so he's sitting in that chair that his sugar daddy, sugar baby bought him, Kabir. And now he's going to talk whatever he needs to talk. Okay. Now I'm going to play this. Okay. But I can't play it, on here, but you can hear the audio. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get this thing played up. And I got to come in with commentary because, I got to keep it YouTube friendly. They're going to try to listen. They're going to try to have my ass for this one, y'all. I'm not going to be surprised if they're going to try to hit me with a copyright strike again. Okay. Trying to suppress the truth. Once again, I'm going to come out here and embarrass them again, kick them in the teeth once again. But let's go ahead and see what's up. You guys, once I play this, I just want to be sure that you can hear the audio. Okay. So when I play this, drop a ram or drop some sheep in the chat. If you're a woman, of course, you need to drop a sheep. If you're a man, drop a ram in the chat. But I'm going to play the audio. I want to be sure you guys can hear it. I'm going to go ahead and play it now. All right, let's go. I can't hear it. If you can't hear it, drop a 0. Okay. All right. I can't hear it either. Give me a sec, y'all. Let me work with this thing real quick. And it might be. Hold on a sec. Curious. Let me check something real quick.
Patron Pastor Dowell.
All right. Well, let me play it. I'm gonna play it now. Let's go ahead and play it. Boom. All right.
Well, I'm sure that y'all heard. All right, shalom, my brothers and sisters. I'm Patron Pastor Dowell here. Well, I'm sure that y'all heard what I stated and what I've said concerning Straitway, Kentucky East. Now, I'm going to give everybody, now that more information has come out, I'm going to give everybody what I have pretty much have put together of what was really happening and what went on during this reset. What's amazing is that I called this reset, didn't know what it was going to look like, didn't know how it was going to happen, but I could just tell that it was something was getting ready to reset. Well, I'm giving you my opinion in the way that I think things played out, but I'm also going to give you a lot of facts about things that is taking place as well. So in my opinion, Rufus Carswell and Douglas Becker started years and years ago when they would go back there and meet at his house. And who knows what was said. We would never know because they don't tell us. That's why I always tell you that it's good for you to always pay attention to things that people do as well as things they don't do. I started noticing that Elder Doug would pull back, or Douglas Becker would start pulling back on the land considerably. He would still work. Now, don't get me wrong. He would still work here and there and here and there. And I know some of it had to do with medical, but that was just a different spirit. I noticed that he ended up betraying the trust and offending JC. And then I noticed that now it was Elder Becker, Elder Rufus, and Elder Mitchell that spoke quite often. And Elder Mitchell tried to deny the fact that they're speaking quite often, but after we had that meeting, it's obvious that they were speaking a lot. And for whatever reason, they come up with this theory, and this Rufus did, that Pastor Dowell has this evil spirit, or this spirit upon him. Now, you know, we're in deliverance ministry. You know, the one thing we don't never do is run around telling people what type of evil spirit or spirit they got on. I could also sense and tell that there was something going on. Couldn't put my finger quite on it. When Rufus Carswell came to this ministry, he came with a car, 1996 Lincoln Continental, with all his belongings in the back of it. We, Straitway, the hub here in Tennessee, I think it was 2013 or 14, we purchased land down in Georgia as well as the train.
So why talk about this now, Dow? Why talk about this now? In which he's saying in the Lincoln Continental, he's coming back and basically saying he's homeless, right? My thing is this, right? It took you this long to even want to address this. It took your ministry taking hit after hit and you being Swiss cheesed up for you to want to come behind a paywall in order to address this. Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue to hear this rhetoric as to what he has to say in regards to it. Looks like Pastor Rufus is going to make a live stream video and talk about this particular situation. Listen, let's get it. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is interesting. It took this long for you to come up with this BS, right? Let's continue listening, y'all. Let's continue.
As well as paid for remodeling, other trailers as well. And we moved them from Lookout Mountain to their community on 375 Cemetery Road. There in Georgia. And of course, you know how we do. You know, we made it a little small community. He started coming up with all different types of theories that I've never even discussed with him. He would tell us things, we're a transitional community, we're doing this, we're this and that, which I've never even said. That's just what he was saying. What really upset him more than anything is that when he would perpetuate a particular doctrine, teaching, or theory behind the scenes that I didn't even know nothing about, and when I would get on YouTube or Patreon, it would go contrary to what he was teaching, unbeknownst to me, it would cause an offense. Well, he had asked Elder Mitchell, how did I get into Pastor Dowell crosshairs? He said, I know Pastor Dowell. No, you know what, Pastor Dowell? You don't live with me. We traveled together. And we spoke considerably on the phone. But if you notice, Rufus Carswell has never been up here on this community that I can recall and has ever lifted one finger in helping us do anything on this land. Now, flip that around and see how many times that I myself have been not only to that community, but many other communities and help people. Nevertheless, they come up with this theory, and it seems like it was like a cool setup getting ready to try to overthrow or at least move me out of the way. Now, ain't that amazing? The Most High y'all use me.
So I'm so confused. Overthrow or move you out of the way. Out of the way of what, Dow? Like, can you explain that? Can you elaborate? Out of the way of what? What are we moving you out of the way of? What was Pastor Rufus moving you out of the way of? What was he trying to overthrow you with? How was this going to be effective if you're the face and the voice of the ministry, right? Of your ministry? How would this be effective if they're not on the paperwork, right? For your foundation, how could that affect you? I'm just really confused. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure the audience is as well. Your listening audience ain't going to ask the tough questions. They're just going to go along with whatever you say. You understand what I'm saying? But my thing is this, right? How, why, who, what, when, where, and why? Why do you feel like he was? And how successful would he have been in doing so? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why do you keep coming up with this notion of trying to overthrow you or whatever it may be? This sort of thought of kingdomship, like your kingdom is someone's trying to raise up a coup against you, and you consider yourself to be the king, right? Of Straitway. And so, in order to do that, there has to be a removal of power, meaning you would have to be removed out of authority and someone would have to replace you, right? And so how would that be done if you're the personality? If you are the star of the show, everybody's just living in your world when it comes to Straitway, right? Everybody's just living, they're just squirrels trying to get a nut. You understand what I'm saying? You are the main character in your world. You understand? So how could they remove the main character and replace themselves? That means they would have to take over the Pastor Dowell channel. That means that they would have to come on here and preach on the Sabbaths. They would have to do everything in effectively removing Dowell. This is what I'm just confused by. But we'll continue to let him explain away whatever he has to say. Let's go.
To build this ministry. The people come to this ministry because they heard me. Not because they heard Rufus Carswell, not because they heard Mitchell Polydor, not because they heard Douglas Becker. They didn't hear none of them. And that's why I take it personally whenever I get people who are supposed to be in elders and trusted elders in positions and places, that you're supposed to have a righteous leadership and a righteous stewardship over people, to not sit up and defile y'all's heritage and take advantage and fleece the flock of y'all. And some take heed, some don't. It's to be expected. Some people are extremely serious about this walk, some are not. Well, anyway, as we get up to the meeting, and I'm just giving you just quick notes, Ray, right? As we get up to the meeting, Craig and Mitchell came to me and said, do you mind having a discussion or meeting? Because they perceived, based on whatever this tension was, and the tension didn't come from me, it came from Rufus, who continued.
Now, Dowell, come on, man. Cut the shit, okay? Cut the shit. Let's get to the real tangible proof and evidence. Can you please pull the files? Can you please pull the audio recordings? Can you play those while you're sitting here talking, okay? While you're sitting here talking, you're talking about the meeting, all this other stuff, right? The work goes on, whatever it may be. You're talking about this meeting, right? Well, where's the audio files? Why don't you play the audio files and then tell us what dissected? Tell us what you think happened during that time. But instead of providing the tangible proof and evidence like you should, you continue on to spew rhetoric to blow smoke up everybody else's rear end. You understand what I'm saying? What do you think that we are, really? You must think that we're a bunch of idiots and a bunch of gumpies, right? Like the rest of your people that follow you. You must think that us to be very half-witted. My thing is that why are we still talking, Dow? After all these years, after 2 years now of stumping a mud hole in your rear end, now all of a sudden you want to try to articulate an excuse. It's because of the simple fact that this whole thing started on with the martyr of Rufus, right? Pastor Rufus as a martyr, and then you sat back and witnessed the public undressing and the public humiliation and destruction of your ministry. And you cannot stop the replaying of the truth in your mind. You know truly that you were out of line and you were out of pocket during that meeting. You were out of line and out of pocket. You weren't able to be man enough to talk to Pastor Rufus during this meeting. You felt like that you had the superiority complex and no man can speak to you in the manner that Pastor Rufus spoke to you, like a man. You understand what I'm saying? In fact, you thought that he was totally out of line for challenging your position. You understand what I'm saying? You got to know for a fact when it's time and your time has come, right? And that you're having a hard time dealing with the facts of a situation. And you decide to run instead of actually confront it or face the fear of it, right? Just simple as that. Instead of actually facing the fear of it, instead of actually facing the truth. Why exactly have you decided to come back out and talk even more rather than actually providing tangible proof and evidence, providing the receipts, the whole recording, audio file, unedited, uncut, uncensored, unfiltered? Why not? Why not? That's what I really want to know. And if you can answer that question, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it. You understand what I'm saying? But answer that question for me.
We keep talking to them that, we don't want to get up there in the meeting and have a blow up. First, ain't gonna be no blow up. I'm the authority in the head. It ain't gonna be no blow up. It's just simply we want a professional meeting. That's what I plan on doing. But anyway, we had a private meeting down in the basement of Elder Kabir's Straitway Praise Day community up there. Then this Rufus Carswell proceeded to attack me and go at me and come at me, out of which I can say that it seemed like it surprised Elder Mitchell. It didn't surprise Elder Craigo at all because Craigo was Team Rufus. No matter how many lies that we called him in, no matter how many times we called him falsified information. Think about this, man. This is a man that comes to the ministry with nothing, and he leaves the community with over $300,000. $300,000. That means he's been embezzling funds from the Israelites, saving money for a long time, anticipating a time when he was. That was all my fault, man, because I didn't put it on airplane mode, and I get all these spam calls that for no reason. I mean, it's just sad, just spam. No matter how many times you decline, but nevertheless.
Shalom, welcome in, Pastor.
Hey, bless you, brother. Can y'all hear me good?
Yes, sir.
All right. I just
Loud
wanted to
and
make
clear.
sure. Got my headset on. I wanted to make sure. Yeah, it's not like I didn't hear about these things after I left the ministry. And some of this stuff is despicable. I mean, this information was emailed, turned over, people talked about and all. And the sad thing is that, you have people now that won't stand for righteousness, won't protect the children, won't protect the women. Because everybody has their hidden agendas. I need a husband, I need a wife, I need somebody to take care of my children, I need a place to stay, I need the security of not having to take care of my family, because a lot of these men don't fool me, struggling to take care of their families when they were out there on their own, struggling mightily. So they will sell their soul to get on one of these communities and take away that pressure of having to financially take care of their families. They don't have to worry about them having a place over their head. So they will willingly give themselves over to servitude and turn their wives and their daughters into handmaids and turn their sons and themselves into bond servants, even though the book is extremely clear that the Most High desires us to be in a covenant of liberty with him. He totally desires us to be at liberty with him. And when you think about it, even back when they came out of Egypt, Egypt was, about as, what do you want to call it, sophisticated as a city as they could be back then. And then imagine being taken from that, the sophistication, even though it's brutal, hard labor, the same thing you got going on in that ministry. Waking up before the sun comes up, going to bed, or stopping your work after the sun goes down. I remember one of the brothers testified. He said when he lived there on that land in Tennessee, that there was never a day where he didn't lay it down before 11 o'clock, where he laid it down before 11 p.m. And he always started before the sun would come up. And when you don't want to turn yourself over to be a slave, now you're considered lazy. But you get to watch the main person sit in his house all day or run around in his vehicle all day, do a bunch of popping and topping and poking and boking and just running his mouth, essentially. Come work a day or two in a month. And then feel like and then he preach and mislead the people for a few Shabbats, and then he feels like he deserves a vacation. I mean, the man literally goes on vacation every other month now. It's without question, he has way more time on vacation than he does actual work. Because just you going to help brothers build buildings and you show up for the concrete is all you show up for. You show up for the concrete, and that ain't taking 2, 3, 4 days max. How many concrete jobs y'all having? You ain't doing it every week, every month. It's just so pathetic how these guys refuse to look at what is right in front of their faces. And you know as well as I do, Brother Barack, that it wasn't like that back in the day when we came around, because the money wasn't there. The women weren't like that. The power wasn't, the PMS wasn't around. The power, the money, and the sex, it wasn't there. Everybody was poor. See, it was definitely no mocking of the poor, because all of us were poor. We all and we all wanted to help each other. Hold on a second. Can
Yeah.
y'all still hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to add on to that.
I can
Yeah.
hear you now, brother. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like
Okay.
that. It was
Yeah.
definitely, but once I came back, I sensed the heaviness of the evil that was going on there. The anointing, or the spirit that I once saw in Tennessee amongst the brethren, right, was gone. It just wasn't there. It was empty.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
It is.
saying? And it was more like a business. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Pastor.
And it is. And see, right around 2018, 1920, that's when we really start coming up down there in Georgia and the Southern Assemblies. And, we saw, Straitway focus more on Straitway, which again, in my mind at the time, I didn't have a problem with that, because I'm like, okay, well, we've been building all these communities since 2011. I get it. You need to build this up, keep it going if people are going to be coming. So y'all focus on that, and then us brothers that have gotten skills and is willing that we can make time, we will be the ones that will go and do the work for the saints. So that's why I always orchestrated crews to coming from the Southern Assemblies down there, to go up to Indiana or go to Kentucky or go help the new saints like Brother Rasan them and all that, Alabama, whatever. We was the ones doing all that. And that's where the jealousy and stuff come in, because that's the stuff Dowell should have been doing. That's the
Wow.
stuff he should have been doing, and then doing it in love. See, there was no me telling, oh, well, if it wasn't for my crew coming up there to you, Pastor Mir, y'all would still have septic problems. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for my crew coming up to you, Elder Mitchell, no, it ain't none of that, because it ain't my crew. They belong to the Most High Yah. They serving the Most High Yah. And I made sure that in the businesses that we did, that they didn't I wasn't trying to make our businesses down there in Georgia the best #1 selling businesses in the state. Why? I said we want to serve the saints more than we serve these people out here. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like we can go out here and work, make enough money that we can survive, but we also available to go serve the saints. And any of these fools that have turned their backs and lied and made up all these stories about me because they want women from Dowell, or they want positions of power from Dowell, whatever it is your ulterior motive is. Say that I'm lying about that. I made sure that we didn't overload ourselves with work there so that we weren't going to be available for the saints. And that stuff pissed Dowell off, and he couldn't understand, how do they have this balance? How are they still able to financially do all of this? Because y'all brought in people that wanted to give financially down there. Y'all brought in people that had skills and talents down there. Y'all brought in people that had the right mindset and the right attitude. And then when you see that, okay, now we're getting music equipment, we're learning this, we're writing our own songs, we're doing all this stuff. And my eyes, like, hey, we just following what y'all did. No big deal. Saints are being blessed from it. But the one thing he could not duplicate, the one thing he couldn't duplicate was the level of love that the people talked about. And this is why he made the statement to me the last time I was there for a feast day, which would have been Tabernacles of 2023, when they ordained me a pastor, right? He made the statement to me in fellowship when he kept saying to me, Pastor Rufus, these people love you. Pastor Rufus, these people love you. He said it to me 5 times, right? And in the end, he was like, man, these people love you. And I ain't speaking no death on you, but if you die, it's going to be a weep and a howl in Israel. Now, it's amazing. I tell this story, and I'm going to tell it again tonight, and I'm going to get out of here. I remember telling that to Mother Jennifer, because I'm thinking it's some kind of spiritual moment, right? I'm really thinking of the magnitude of the love that the saints have for me, the responsibility. I know the book says the greatest amongst you is going to be the biggest servant. You know what I mean? That's what's going on in my mind and my heart. And I remember telling it to Mother Jennifer, and the look on her face wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't that level of excitement and that instant godly fear, that'll come over you when something like that. It wasn't that. And I I waited till we got back home, and I brought it up to her, and I said, what was that all about? Why you didn't, And she was like, let's just see what happened. So for these brothers to sit out here and act like your women don't know Yah and they don't have relationships with Yah. I mean, all of my wives, I've had these type of experiences with and moments with, you know what I mean? Where you can clearly see they see something spiritual that I may not be able to see. And this is where you have to build up that relationship and that level of trust. You know what I'm saying? But that's your job as the husband, to build that up in them. If you constantly beating them down and making them feel like servants and all they're here to do is be incubators for you and have your children, they're not finna respect you and honor you on that level. And you ain't finna build up nothing spiritual in them at all. Nothing. So when she said it, I thought about it, and it really hit me. And then, because it didn't take long after that. Remember, after that happened and Dowell got Selena, it all started being revealed. It all started being revealed. And I'm like, wow. But even then, Mother Jennifer knew that wasn't no statement of admiration. That wasn't a compliment Dowell was giving me. He was speaking from that blue label that he had consumed, his levels of jealousy of how the people loved me. And his whole goal is to get these people not to love me. So this is why. So some ask, why does he constantly say Pastor Rufus' name? Why does he constantly try to bash this man? Why is he always trying to put this man down? This is why. Because he's jealous that the people see me. Even now, even the people that will look at me and say, well, he was associated Straitway, I don't want to rock with him. They still see me in a better light than they see Dowell. Because if it wasn't, guess what? Where's all the people making these videos about me? The only people you're going to see make videos about me are people that I done the same thing to them that I'm doing, that the Most High is doing to Dowell right now. When you want to take advantage of the saints, when you want to take advantage of the women and children, the Most High will send me in to step in. Ask Randy up there in this little weak, raggedy community up there in Homestead in Kentucky. That's the only reason, because I tell people, you want the proof? Here's the proof. If Randy was so jacked up from what happened when Melinda left him, being the weak man that he is, when Melinda left him and took her son and everything, go back on his channel, been around forever. Go back and look on his channel when it happened. Where's the videos about me? See, if he really thought it was me and blame me, why did he make a ton of videos about me? He was still making videos every day. Didn't say one word about it. But now, all this envy, all this jealousy, all this unforgiveness in his heart boils over, and now he sees an opportunity in his mind for me to suffer like him, and that's why he's jumping on top of it now. And he
Better.
still don't. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, he still don't like Dowell, y'all. Dowell don't like Randy, and Randy don't like Dowell. They'll give that fake admiration as Dowell does what he do in Tennessee, and Randy do what he do there. Randy will make sure that he stays free from Dowell, and that's the one thing I can give Randy credit for. He never gave over his manhood to Dowell. He never gave over being a priest and the leader of his home. He never gave that over to Dowell, and he never would have. Which that's the one thing that's right. The problem he still has, though, that he's a scumbag, he's a skid mark, and he wants to take advantage of the people. Is what he wants to do. He still wants to rule over the people. He thinks he's a mini Dowell. If you listen to him talk, he just repeats the stuff Dowell says. And he think he's something because he's went out, he's learned a few skills, he's learned how to build a little bit, he's making a living off building, and he thinks that makes him a great man. He gonna find out when he busts hell wide open just like Dowell with his gasoline draws on. And these leaders, all this stuff these leaders was doing, all this stuff coming out now, Most High gonna deal with them, y'all. The Most High is truly gonna deal with all these people. You cannot just flat out take advantage of his people and get away with it. It may look like it on the surface. Go back and read the book, y'all. It takes the saints crying out to the Most High. And honestly, I can say it is not. It's people like yourself and me and Elder Brent and Elder Chris. I'm just naming folk, Brother Robert. I'm naming folk that I know have put their testimonies out there and haven't walked in fear. You need more men and more women and more young folk stepping up, telling their stories and not being afraid of Dowell stealing their, trying to steal their land like he's trying to do with me. Not being afraid of Dowell coming out here publicly bashing them and making up lies about them. Notice now how the MO is anybody that leaves, they're stealing. I'm stealing, Jordan's stealing. Everybody just got to be stealing. I guarantee this, Dowell is claiming now that I took over $300,000 with me when I left. How foolish is that? When a community never had $300,000. And then here's the thing. Produce it, Dowell, since we in court. Show the document till you got all of my bank records that go back to when we even started there. Go prove that there was $300,000 worth that came in that I could have siphoned from. See, because what you got to do is you'll see what came in, what went out, and then there should be a deficit there. You should see a huge deficit that, well, what happened to this $800,000, this $500,000, this $300,000? Since you saying with your mouth, your dumb ass, that I have taken over $300,000 with me. That's going to cost you in court, sir. That's going to really cost you, because if you listen to what I said, no, go ahead.
So he's got all the receipts he needs for these claims he's making, but he's not providing none of it to the people.
This is what he gonna say. Well, that's court stuff. Y'all gonna see, brother. I'll produce and give it to you. It ain't there. You can see Dowell has everything that he got to see, every dime that our companies made. He got to see every dime that was spent. And here's what his problem is. He will see that the large checks that came in came from two people. One recently from him when he would give the money to me to give to Alabama. Because remember, he took the $900,000 from Alabama. And then when they would need money because they didn't have a foundation, he would write it to my foundation. And then I would put that in my foundation and then give it to Brother Jonathan to go do what they got to do. So that money is accounted for. Then you would see other big checks come in from one other person. Guess who it was? Elder Brent. The same person I've been telling everybody for years who funded all of the building down there. He probably funded 90% of the building down there. I've been upfront and honest about the things that we were able to pay for out of our money that the community generated. What Elder said is, hey, y'all take the monies that you got coming in and focus on keeping the community afloat, taking care of the saints that are coming. When you got a building project, let me know. Tell me how much it costs, and I'll get you a check. And that's what happened. And guess what? Dowell already knows that, but he wants to project it to the people that know there's all this money that was coming in, and he kept it for himself, and he wants to go start a ministry. Where's my ministry, Dow? Where's my following? You said you the first person to say I wanted to take over for you. All of these people have left Straitway. If I really want to take over for you, why didn't I just become their pastor and they all up under me now? See, this is another reason, Barack, he will never release the tapes, the audio tapes. He won't release Green Bay ever. Y'all would really hear, like me, he said, oh, we caught him in these lies. Prove it then. Play the tapes. Because we
Exactly.
already know the audios is going to prove that you were the one caught in lies. This is why you walked out of the meeting. This is why you accused Elder Becker of having the same spirit as me, because Elder Becker called you out and said, you're lying now, Pat. You just did a video and you lied on us. You got that same spirit, and got up and walked out. And then the videos, the audios of the Georgia meetings. Remember what Elder Becker said. Dowell presented it as evidence after I was gone. Remember, I came for that one meeting at Straitway. He tried to sabotage that meeting. It still didn't go his way. Do you know why? Because at the end of that meeting, before I left, because remember, we got there like 9 o'clock, and it was like 1 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock. And Dowell went around the room, even though he had brought in people that shouldn't even been in that meeting. Pastor Corey shouldn't have been in that meeting. Elder Rob, Elder McGill, none of them in that meeting. None of them. Because they weren't in the meeting in Wisconsin. But he brought them in anyways because he wanted to. He felt like he got ganged up on when Elder Becker, Elder Brent, and Elder Mitchell was there, and they were clearly on my side because they saw the truth. Right? So he tried to stage this meeting and sabotage me, and it still didn't work. Do you know why? Because at the end, when that meeting was ending, before he left, he made everybody in that room go around and say what they felt from what I said. And even them wicked leaders had to admit what he said was sincere. What I believe everything that Pastor Rufus said was sincere and honest. They all said it. And Dowell said, when it got to Dowell last, he said bullshit, and he pulled out like 20 papers, y'all. He had pre-printed out a bunch of scriptures. So he didn't care what the meeting was going to be said in the meeting. He started reading all these scriptures, why he can't trust, blah, 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 got up and left the meeting. Then that's when when I had left the land, he called Elder Mitchell and said, get all the elders back up there. Y'all don't get to leave until y'all come up with a judgment for him. Elder Mitchell said, we don't even have a sin for this man, Pastor. What do you mean a judgment? We don't even agree on a sin. How can we pass it? Get up there until you get a judgment. So he calls all the men. Half of them hadn't even left yet, though. And then they got back up there. They met for another few hours, and that's when Elder Becker testimony came. Elder Becker said, you know what? Dowell had gave them, he forwarded an audio of one of the meetings I had with the brothers in Georgia. He said, this is clear evidence that he's sowing discord. So the brothers up there started listening to him, all these so-called leaders. They started listening, and they all were disagreeing. Remember, Elder Becker said that. We was giving him the benefit of the doubt. We couldn't hear discord in the video. We couldn't hear it. And then he said, why are we listening to this? All we got to do is call the brothers in Georgia. Let's ask them. So they called Vernon, they called Mike, they called Tim. And guess what? All of them said no. Even wicked ass Vernon said at that point, not only is he not sowing discord, he's not speaking ill against Pastor Dowell. Again, this is the stuff these people ignore because they have a hidden agenda. They have an ulterior motive for what they desire from Dowell or what they hated from me. See, I found out about a lot of people had jealousy towards me, and I didn't know. I just think we brothers serving. I didn't know that these pastors and elders had ill will towards me because of the position they looked at me being in. Oh, he's close to Dowell. Let's see how many of y'all want to get close to Dowell, wicked ass now. And he's made it clear. He ain't finna do it. He made it clear. So y'all can't hear me. I'm going in and out. I see Lala said that.
Right. It's
choppy. It's choppy. Is it choppy for anybody else?
You coming in clear for me.
Okay.
You're not choppy on my end.
Saying. Let me see what everybody else is saying. Because I do got my headset on.
Drop a one in the chat if he's choppy.
Yeah.
If your audio's coming in clear. Yeah, drop a one in the chat. Because you coming in clear for me. I'm
Okay.
not having any current issues.
And I'm not seeing anybody
No.
besides Lala say something in the chat room. Let me see.
Now, one thing
Chat.
is this,
Mhm.
Pastor. I really want to, because I know that you definitely advocate for and love to keep things balanced between the men and the women on this whole topic of this toxic sort of patriarchy doctrine that he's been pushing for years now.
Mhm.
What can you add to that, like in regards to it? You know what I mean? Because I'm here. I got this scripture here. Okay.
Mhm.
First Peter. All right. I'm gonna go First Peter. Um, First Peter 3:7. Right. First Peter, and likewise, ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the women. How do you show honor and give honor to the women? As unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Okay. And how do you give honor to the wife as a weaker vessel, you know, and all these other things? Now, the doctrine of patriarchy that reels so many men in, I'm pretty sure it
Mhm.
inspired you. It inspired me. It inspired so many men. Anything you want to add to that, Pastor?
Sure. I mean, the scriptures is 100% true. You read the scripture earlier about when it tells that the Messiah commands us to honor them as the weaker vessels, right? You just read that one. But you talked about it earlier where we're supposed to love the women like Christ loved the assembly. And then it says what? He gave all. That's how you honor them, by giving all, seeing them from a knowledge standpoint of where are they at as a weaker vessel, not putting more on them than they can do, not expecting them to do the things that you're uh, anointed or been prescribed to do as a man that's leading. And that's part of the problems, that these men will put women in the same categories as them because they are lacking. So they want the woman. It's I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the classic bait and switch, because this is what Dow does. Dow wants the credit for all the work that everybody else does. He wants the credit for what Georgia became. He wants the credit for what Straitway became. He wants the credit for what Kentucky came. Think about it. But he didn't put in the real work. The saints are putting in the real work. But he wants to be the one put out front. It's the same thing he's trying to push when it comes to this, but it's the opposite of it. You humble yourself even more. You become more compassionate towards them. You have more understanding towards them. You pour more into them so they can get it. Like the book says, in all thy getting, you get an understanding. That's your job as a man to do to the woman. What Dow wants is you be the man, you huff and puff, have the woman behind the scenes really making all the spiritual decisions and all that, but you be the one up front getting all the credit for it. And the problem that he had is that these women were dissatisfied. These children were unhappy. These families were still breaking up because these men never became men. They never were, like Paul said, fully converted in a spiritual sense. So that's why their marriages and everything started to fall and crumble. And then when they would come to Dow, because he got jacked up situations in his life with his relationships, he couldn't help them. So the real reason why most of these saints loved me and loved my family and loved what was going on in Georgia, because they could come there and get life instruction. They could come there and get godly counsel for their marriages. They could get it straight. No sugar attached, no shaking or baking. This is who y'all called you to be. You can do it. And guess what? It ain't just you being told that, it's you being told it, but supported in it as well. I didn't just tell men, go do this. I actually showed them how to do it, and I was actually there with them while they attempted to change and do it. And I would never give up on these men. I would still be there beside them no matter what. And I would keep their situations private. None of them will ever say, well, you put my business out there. You put, even Dow can't say I put his business out there. Think about it. But this the bait and switch. Dow wants these men to be out front, but these men ain't, they not, what did Sister Ray say? They're not qualified. They're not equipped. They're not really anointed because they don't really understand this book, because they're not serving Yah or Yeshua. They're serving Tao. So that's a limited knowledge. Think about it. If you're serving Yah, you can pull endless amounts of knowledge. It never expires. But if you pull him from Dowell, if you're serving Dowell, he's a man. How much knowledge does he really truly have? Everything he does is in part. This is why these people are failing. And this is why you have so many people bitter, so many people hurt, so many people can't get closure because Dowell keeps the lies perpetuated. Dowell, guess what? If he actually cared about any of these people, I'm talking about his family. I'm talking about Straitway there. I'm talking about all the saints that call themselves still Straitway and all the saints that have left, all the Hebrews. If he actually cared, he could solve this with one move. All he would have to do is schedule it and put himself and myself in a room and allow all the saints to show up. That's all he'd have to do. That's it. See, that's the major smoke that he's ducked. Guess what? He's going to get this clip. I know you'll break it up, Brother Barat, and you're going to put that thing out there. He going to see it. He's going to see it. And guess what he's going to do? I'm going to tell y'all exactly how he's going to do. Just like the brother you played earlier, Brother Brian Howard. He said, I'm going to tell you his answers because he's predictable. You're going to deny that I did nothing. I'm innocent. No. What he's going to do here, y'all, this is when, see, he been saying my name. I ain't done a video on Dowell in a long time. But he been saying my name. Everybody like, why'd you keep saying Pastor? I thought he was past that. I thought he was over that. 50-day fast, all this stuff they're supposed to be doing. 40-day blackouts, all this stuff. But you keep saying my name because I live rent-free. Because you can't figure out the anointing of the Most High Yah. You can't figure it out. You can't figure out how does this poor, never accomplished, fat man get all this stuff done? And why are these people following him? His problem is they're not following me. They didn't leave your wicked ministry because of me. They left because of the relationships y'all garnered. Y'all as in you and your wicked ass servants. See, Proverbs 39:12 is true. And see, when I do my live soon, y'all gonna get to see, because everybody wants to see what's it, they ask this question, well, what's that look like live? What does that look like today? What does that look like? You read it, but you don't really know it. I'm going to show you what Proverbs 29:12 looks like. I'm going to literally show you in my live. When I do my live soon, you're going to see what Proverbs 29:12 looks like. It says, when a leader hearkens to lies, all of his servants are wicked. I'm going to show you why Yah views all of the people that chose Dowell. I'm talking about all these new people that came from Kentucky that chose Dowell. I'm talking about all the people that sit there, all these blubbering idiots, these unbuttered biscuits out here talking, all of them. I'm going to show you why Yah views them, not Pastor Rufus, not Elder, not Brother Rufus, Yah, because I didn't write Proverbs. Why Yah views them all as wicked. I'm going to show you from their own lips. I'm going to show you. And this is why it won't work for him. This is why it's going to end. This is why it's crumbling. And he knows it. He's doing the best he can to try to present this thing to y'all like everything is great. He don't have the funds coming in like he used to. It's not even close. He don't have the manpower. He don't have skill level. He don't have the talent. He don't have none of it. His whole goal is to get before y'all and lie and say that I'm a thief. Like that's going to make y'all think any different. See, here's the problem. He wants to present me as something that everybody knows I'm not. But what he doesn't understand is still ain't going to change how the people view you. If you found out that I took $12.15 from Straitway, Georgia, unrighteously, it's going to make you look at me different. You understand what I'm saying? You still ain't going to look at Dowell and be like, man, you were right and you're righteous. No, you still doing the wickedness that you're doing, Dowell. You still have no love. You still are a hypocrite. I mean, you literally have men in love making channels to show your hypocrisy to get you to repent, and you flat out ignore. You act like Big Screen B don't exist. You act like Brother Taratazar doesn't exist. You act like when I call your butt out and I challenge you and say, me and you in a room with the saints, you act like that stuff don't exist. See, this is when you start being Deion Sanders. You start backpedaling like the best defensive back of all time. And this is when you'll pull back and you'll say, well, we too busy. What you say, Brother Barat? We working. We got all this work going on. We don't have time for this. We want to stay focused. Now you want to get positive with the people because you're not going to address that. But guess what? Somebody's going to leak it. Somebody's going to get it to those people. And somebody's going to pull your card and say, hey, you know what? I ran across this old video of you, pastor, where you were talking about this pastor and this man calling out this pastor. And you said you would go to that pastor's door and you would knock on his door and say, hey, this man calling you out. He's saying he want to get together. He want to meet. He want to debate you. He wanted this. What you gonna do? And then the pastor start him hawing and saying, well, you know, we ain't got time for that. We ain't gonna make time for that. And you're gonna be like, hold on now. You said that you would challenge anybody. This man is publicly calling you out and you ain't doing them. What you gonna do, pastor? And you said that when that pastor tells you that he ain't gonna do nothing, we ain't got time to address him, you would close, you will walk away from his door and leave his ministry. See, I need for all the people that call themselves Dowellites, I need them to follow your advice. Because that's exactly what I'm doing to you, Dow. I've been doing it for 18 months. But see, what you do is you got this this no-fly zone. You brainwash these people to not listen to me. But you got to hide. If I'm a liar and I'm a cheat, how's that gonna sway their minds? All it's gonna do is confirm what they already should believe, right, Dow? Why are you scared of them to hear the things that I have to say? What you're afraid of them is seeing and hearing the righteous indignation, the passion of Christ in me. That's what you're afraid of them hearing. They will hear a man that they know 100% telling the truth and willing to die for that truth. Are you willing to die for it, Dow? Let's see then. Let's see. I'll call you out again, Dow. Make a clip of this, brother Warsheep. You hear me? Make a clip of this, Dow. I'm saying it again. I've been saying it for 18. I've been saying it for 18 months. Me, you, and the saints. Any saint that want to come can show up. If I have to, I'll pay for the venue. If I need to, I'll come directly to Straitway. You think I'm scared to come to that wicked ass land? I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid at all. I'll come to Straitway for that meeting. Oh. That's all you finna do is huff and puff. That's all you finna do. Because I've been trying to get face to face with you in the same room with you for 18 months. And what you have done is grab the hold of your panty skirt and hid and duck that smoke for 18 straight months, Dow. I don't care about no civil lawsuits. I don't care about none of that stuff. Make it happen. Me and you in the room and invite any saint that want to come from anywhere. And let's see whose side y'all is on. See, you say if it happened in the Bible once, it'll happen again. That's what you say. But when it comes to this, now I'm being facetious. Nah, it don't work that way. No, I think it still does work that way. Matter of fact, I don't think. I know it still works that way. I know for a fact it still works that way. And you know it works that way. That's why you running. That's why you hiding on your vacations. That's why you hiding up there on that property. Because you a chicken, like I've been telling everybody, Dow. You got all this crap going on around, and all you doing, you spend all your time trying to clean your hands of the blood. It ain't gonna happen, sir. It ain't gonna happen. You got all these unqualified people here abusing women, abusing children, taking advantage of the elderly, all this stuff y'all doing. Most High see every bit of it. Your biggest concern ain't even me. It's the Most High. But I know this. I've been telling you this for 18 months, and I'm telling you, I'm telling all your leaders, I'm telling your new appointed elders, all of them, you a chicken. And all of them are wicked because you have hearkened to lies, like Proverbs 29:12 says. You've hearkened to lies. Again, you got a man that loves you. Whoever this person is, Big Screen B, they loved Dow so much. They literally did a whole channel showing his hypocrisy to get him to change. I know that's what the motivation was. It wasn't to be a clown show. I can tell. But some of this stuff has to be done in a theatric way to penetrate y'all putrid minds. Dow, I'm waiting on you still. Bump the lawsuits, bump everything. This about me and you. This ain't a fight of flesh and blood. But guess what? I'm sure ready if it goes there. I'm sure ready if you want to get physical. Oh, let's sign. I ain't signing shit. I don't need to sign nothing. I don't need to sign nothing, Dow. I'm not concerned about you spiritually, and I'm damn sure not worried about you physically, you chicken. I don't give a shit if you pumping 500 pounds. Nobody worried about you. But you've been afraid and you've been scared of me the whole time, Dowell. See, you did this. I was your friend, and I was friend enough to you, and I loved you enough as a brother to tell you you had this spirit. Now the whole world see this spirit, and you're doing the best you can to cover it up. Too late. Sorry. And we got you on tape saying you'll never repent. That's between you and Yah. He gonna be the grand judge of it all. What you're doing is you kicking the proverbial can down the road. Judgment coming regardless if you wanted to come or not. Everybody can see the effect of it. It's the plagues. Moses going back and forth to Pharaoh, that didn't happen overnight. That took time. But the Israelites, the true ones that love Yah, they eventually got out. The remnant, they were able to go in too because their mindset changed. They got fully converted. That's the work I'm doing with people now. I'm helping people get fully converted in their mind. That ain't nothing I need to put up here on YouTube. Y'all ain't finna make me into no YouTube pastor. It ain't finna happen. I'm just gonna keep serving like I was decades before I met Dowell. I'm gonna keep serving, but I know this. I'm gonna say it for the third time. Dowell, anytime you're ready, I'll lose a job, I'll quit anything I'm doing, I'll cancel anything. There would be nothing in my life more important than me and you in a room with all the saints that want to come being there. And they can see the real true power of the Most High Yah. That's what I want more than anything. So what you waiting on, Dowell? You Mr. Powerful. You got all this fruit. And then we talk about Barack, fruit. You talking about building. That ain't fruit, dumbass. But you still want to present it to people like it is. Fine. Bring your fruit. Bring your skills. Bring the music that you learn. Bring the 2x4s you nailed together when you came out the military. Bring it all, Dowell. Bring your wives. Bring your sons. Bring it all. Let everybody see how powerful of a man. Your voice. You say your voice is the voice they're supposed to listen to. Mine ain't the voice. Elder Becker's not the voice. Mitchell's not the voice. Let's see then. Let's see who show up with 400 false prophets. Let's see. You've been ducking. You've been dodging for 18 months. How long you gonna do it, Dowell? You gonna hide behind the heathen court system? Because you lied to all these brothers and told them get these what do you call them, these foundations, so that you ain't never got to worry about that. Your foundation ain't subject to the worldly court system. And it's amazing. You sued me through your foundation, dumbass. Your foundation is what sued me. I thought it wasn't subject to the court systems, Dowell. You didn't pay for the lands. What difference would it make to you? That's between me and them brothers, which we had an agreement. Oh, I gotta protect them. You a thief. You are an embezzler. Prove it, Dowell, because you do a lot of talking. No fruit, no real fruit from that. No evidence. See, we bring in evidence. We show documentation of you 501c3. Documentation. We show documentation that you didn't purchase all that land, that land was in R.G. Stairs' name in the beginning. I showed proof through the interview that you lied on that interview when you were talking to Jim Cersei, telling them that this land is in the name. You lying pig. It was never in a trust. They were never trustees, and they never owned that land. Your wicked, perverted mentor owned it, and then you have owned it. That's it. Yeah, you right, Timbo. He fruity. He ain't no fruit. He fruity. Walking around in this damn whitey tighties in front of men. Bro, I'm telling you, I long for the day to be in a room with this dude. I'm telling you. Because I want all of y'all saints to see whose side y'all is on. You got one or two ways gonna go with this thing. Y'all gonna clearly show you who's on his side and who's not, or he'll destroy us all because we all wicked. That's about all gonna happen, y'all. And I've already made it clear. If I'm a troubler of Israel, if I'm the wicked one hindering Israel from growth, I prefer to get out of here. Now he says that stupid talk. I think it's love. Because I don't want to hinder you in your walk. I don't want to be a stumbling block for you. I don't want to be a millstone tied around my neck. I don't want to offend the little ones. I don't want to do it. This is why I protect the women and protect the men. One of the saints in there said it earlier today. They saw it way back. when I did my one preaching. And he said, boy, you elevate them women. Oh, you put them women on the pedestal. Y'all hated that. They deserve that. That's how you honor them. That's how you respect them. That don't mean give them control, let them run over you. But any good man wants to please his wife, don't he? You want to please your children. You want your children, when they do what they're supposed to do, don't you want to bless them? It's the same thing. I want to bless my wives for being good women, praying for me, laboring for me, taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of, from schooling to cooking to children to gardening to whatever. I want to be a blessing to them. And all that bonding, it just makes us closer. It gets us closer so we can really truly become one. Dowell ain't one with nothing but his selfish, vain self. He's the most vain individual I've ever met in my life. So you put your big fat chest out there. You put your fat neck out there. You put your biceps out there, Dowell. Let's see how far it gets you in a room with me, you, the saints, and the Most High Yah. Let's see. And if one of your opinions want to get froggy, let's see what happened with them. I hope you do. I ain't gonna front. I hope you can't handle the spiritual pressure and you try to turn it into something physical. I hope you do. Because I promise you, I ain't running from that either. Oh, I'll get him in the octagon. Oh, Lord, I'm trained on this. Let's see. I want to see how trained you are. Now, do I got a desire to beat up a senior citizen? I don't. I don't. But you talk so much shit, and I need people to see you're full of it. You right. I traveled with you, and I put my life on the line many times for your dumb tail. I put my life on the line many times for you, and you know it. You ain't finna do that for nobody. You have zero love for the saints. Because again, I'll say this and I'm finna land the plane. Dowell can end all, if he wanted to, y'all, he could end all the pain, all the suffering, all the wickedness, all the fearfulness, all the people that are bitter, all of that. All he's got to do is agree to get in the room with me and him and let all of y'all show up. Because y'all know if he does, the Most High gonna show up too. Wherever that location, he gonna treat it like it's a tabernacle. And he gonna say, Dowell and Rufus, get to the door. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And Dowell is doing everything he can to make sure that never happens. If these audio tapes are so damning of me, why has he not released them? You ain't protecting nobody. You're protecting yourself, because what people are going to hear is you lying and throwing other people in the ministry under the bus. People like Gideon and people like that, they're going to hear that. They're going to hear that. That's why you don't want to release it. They're going to hear me talking to you like a man, but respectful though. Because I don't use the B words, the F words. You don't never hear me say that stuff. So I didn't say that to Dowell. I did tell him he's a damned liar. I did tell him that, because he is. He's a damned liar. And we weren't going to get nowhere in that meeting with him up there lying. Him and Mir, big. We weren't going to get nowhere with these dudes lying. But they claim they love the Most High. They got all this wickedness against me, but can't put nothing out there. No proof of nothing. And guess what? The people are dropping like flies. But they ain't dropping like flies. Let me phrase that. They're sinking ship. Because the majority of these saints, they're still holding on to their salvation. They're still out there desiring and going after and doing substance. Dowell, you only been around so long because wicked seems to be. The Bible talks about how wicked appears to like it's going to win. But in the end, it's going to be a mighty fall, Babylon. It's going to be a mighty fall. So bump all the lawsuits, all this crazy stuff. Show up, Dowell. I'll show up tonight. You could call the meeting. It's 9:22 my time, Central Time. You could call that meeting for midnight. I guarantee I'd be there. I'd be there. All I need is me, you, and a few saints in a room. That's it. Because I know y'all show up. And let's see. Let's see. Now, watch the silence come from Dowell now, y'all. Now that I done said this, and Warsheep gonna put it out there, y'all know how he do. Watch how silent they get. Where's the clap back now? I've been doing this, a lot of y'all don't know this. I've been saying this for 18 months. My story ain't changed one bit. And it ain't going to change because it's the truth. I don't care how much Dowell feeds lies into these brothers' ears. He lied. I'll tell you right now, I don't care what nobody say. I don't even have to know. He lied to those brothers in Kentucky. I guarantee you he did. Now, I ain't saying that Elder Mitchell was the most upstanding. I heard from everybody he flip-flopped and he tried to play both sides. So an unstable, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. But I know Dowell is a liar the same way he lied to the brothers in Georgia. He lied to the Saints up there. He been lying to y'all. He lied to the Michigan Saints from Brother Juan. He lied to the Kentucky Saints. He lied to all the Saints that Elder Chris had there. You lied to all of them. You notice he don't bring that up. See, Elder Chris, he made a place available for those Saints. He did. Because that was his land. He wasn't sharing it with nobody. It was his land. And only one fool left. And it's funny, he had the same last name as Dowell. Zach Dowell is the only fool that left. Why ain't you talking about all the people that stayed with Elder Chris? Nobody stayed with Pastor Rufus. I didn't give anyone an option. Play the audios, Dowell, and they'll hear it. If you play them audios, and when I did it with them brothers in Georgia, I never gave anyone an option to be with me, ever. I told them, once this go down, you can't come to me. I already told them all. So quit acting like I tried to recruit them and I wanted them to go with me. I never gave them an option to go with me. But I also told them in them audios that that spirit that's in Dowell, it ain't going to be satisfied till it separates everything. He ain't going to be satisfied till division is done. And that's all Dowell is doing. That's what he's trying to do now. Any of you that don't agree with Dowell, he wants you gone. He don't want you in Straitway no more. He'd rather have a faithful 200 than 1,200 people questioning every move that he do. He's a damned dirty dog. He's a damned dirty devil dog. And he's a chicken. And I've been proving that for 18 months. Dowell can end all of this by me and him in a room and inviting any saint in the world that wants to come. Let's see if he's this great man of Yah. Let's see. I'm saying to y'all now, I believed at one time he was, just like that fool believed that R.G. Stair was. Now, I never called him a prophet, but I did on great things for the people until the Most High ripped them covers off him, pulled that cloak of maliciousness off. And then all of them people that thought I was a lapdog for him got to see, no, this man actually loves Yah. He's standing for Yah, not no man. He ain't gonna release the tapes, Brother Vic. We've been telling Dowell that forever. People internally been telling Dowell release the tapes. Since they so damning of Pastor Rufus, and you ain't observing me from nothing, I'm giving you permission. If it's gonna expose me, Dowell, I want it to expose. And even if it try, you see, this is the thing. He can't even edit the tapes, y'all, to make me look bad. He can't even edit them to make me look bad. You still gonna hear him lying. You still gonna hear the truth. And you still gonna hear me tell y'all way back 18 months ago what was finna happen, what's happening now. See, that's another reason he definitely don't want them tapes out. Because what you will hear is, wow, Pastor Rufus called this way back then? This was February of 2024. We're going into 2026. He said that way back then? Yes. Dowell's a devil dog. Me and you, Dowell, I'm saying it again. Me and you and the Saints, I don't care where it's at, open field, room, doesn't matter. And guess what? We don't need to debate the scriptures because we know you don't believe in Yah. We know you all you care about is Dowell. There's no need to debate the text. You said you're the man of Yah, and Yah brought all these people to you by your voice. Let's see if your voice is anointed then. Let's do it like Elijah did. Let's do it then, Dowell. That's foolish. No, you're scared. Because I don't think it's foolish. I know for a fact if it happened in the book, it'll happen again. Oh, I know that for a fact. There's nothing new under the sun. I believe that wholeheartedly. So you get up there with your pompous, arrogant, non-repentant self and act like you can call on the name of the Most High Yah. Act like it, and let's see what happens. Try to make a mockery of the Father then, Dowell. See, this is why you keep avoiding it. Y'all gonna see. Everybody mark this down. Y'all gonna see. He finna start backpedaling. Well, we need to move on. We got a lot of stuff going on. We can't be distracted by these things. Blah, blah. All you want me to do is respond. Because ignoring you drives you crazy. The more I ignore you, the more you call my name. But the more you're afraid to meet me face to face. Dowell, you could get one of your cronies to send me a message and give me time, date, location to meet you. You know I would. You know I would. You could tell me, meet me tomorrow at 9 o'clock at Lowe's and get Lowe's in Nashville. Guess who'll be there? Me, by myself. And I'm going to see if you got more power than the Most High. I'm going to see if the Most High will give you power over me. Because I know you got murder in your heart. Because you ain't no different than Cain. You ain't no different than Cain. You ain't no different than Joseph's brothers. You're jealous. And I ain't even got on the multicolored coat. I ain't even got that. But you jealous and you envious. That nigga poor. I gave him da 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 da. Why you so jealous then? Why you so jealous? This dude's sad, man. And he don't care nothing about these saints. Everything I do is for the saints. Everything I do, my whole life has been turned over to serve the Most High. Have I been perfect in doing it? No, none of us have. I know this. My intent is love. My intent is compassion. Why the hell you think I've been telling this fool to repent all this time? It's too late now, though. He done already confessed he won't repent. It's too late. Too late to repent. Now, it would just be words. It would be like Esau. Your repentance would be like Esau's. Me and you and the saints, Dowell, for the 2000th time. I don't know how many times I've asked, Brother Barack. For the 2000th time, you're going to keep saying that you are. You and everybody that serves you are. Hey, Barack, I'm going to ask you a real question, though. Think about this. Think about this. When I was in the ministry of Straitway, and I was an elder or a pastor, do you think a man could talk about Dowell the way I'm talking about Dowell right now and get away with it?
Nah, absolutely not.
Ain't no way in hell a man would challenge Dowell this. The way I'm challenging him, I would have been all over Dowell. What is we doing? Oh, hell no. You are the man of Yah. Get up there and show him. I'd have been all in Dowell grill. And guess what? I'd have been that guy that Dowell.
Yeah.
I would have been the one that looked at Dowell and said, bro, you a sissy, bro. I'm sorry. I can't serve with you no more. There's no way you're going to let this little weak ass, heathen ass, thieving ass, I'd have said all the stuff that he lied about. Let this up. No, Dowell, you going to, man, let's do it. I'm with you. I'm there. But see, because I love Yah, if I'd have heard a man speaking from the spirit of the Most High Yah, I'd have been like, man, Pastor, I do got something right there now. You may want to leave him alone. You may want to stay back from him. And then I'd have been searching my own soul. See, I know when the Most High is speaking. I do. Most of them times them guys get the puff, and I tell Dowell all the time, man, they ain't finna show up. They ain't got a leg to stand on. They know they can't fight the scriptures, bro. That you can say it all day. You can put $20,000 on the line. Ain't nobody finna show up for the debate. And guess what? They wouldn't. The one, and you finna trip on this, Barack. The one person I told him, because see, I didn't know Dowell was gonna do what he did to Brother Yaki. We was all cool. We was all tight. And then he called him out. I'm like, what are you doing? I said, Pastor, that brother with us. What are you doing? He like, no, he said anybody. I said, Pastor, you could have called him privately though. What are you doing? I said, I don't get down with this. I said, I'm gonna tell you this, Pastor. He ain't finna back down from you. You're gonna have to show up on this one. And y'all can go back and look at the video when we were talking about it. I was right there. I didn't say a word about Yaki them not coming. I said, oh no, they gonna show up. They gonna show up. And you saw what Dowell did. He backpedaled his way. Oh, we getting too busy. We got work to do. We ain't got time for all this. That's what he did because he knew Yakinim was going to eat his. I got so much work to do. Man, I called Yaki. I said, brother, I am sorry. I don't know. He said, man, what's wrong with that dude? I said, man, I don't know what's up with him on this topic. I don't know what burden him. I had no idea. He was so hurt from that. He's like, man, man, I viewed him as an elder, man. Y'all my big. I said, brother, don't put me in it with that, because I ain't doing that. I don't agree with that, bro. Again, if y'all want to debate about, chicken and this and all, that's fine. But I don't agree with what he did, bro. And I told him flat out, I don't agree. And I told Dowell that I don't agree with the way you did. Somebody that's with us. This man has come in, giving us all kind of knowledge we didn't have, helped a lot of people, helped get healed from the herbs of the land. I said, come on, bro. These people ain't done nothing to us, bro, but love us. They don't deserve this. I'm going to show you. And then all this stuff start coming out. Oh, he's this, he's that. All these people calling me. I'm like, man, look, I didn't tell y'all to go over there and listen to his teachings. I never once told anybody, go listen to Yaki's teaching. I said the man's anointed when it comes to using the herbs of the field to help heal people, like the books say. That's it. So if you got all tied up in some teaching and you think it's occultic now and all this stuff, don't get mad at me. I never promoted it. I ain't seen you none of his teaching videos. So stop it. I never promoted him on that level. But it was just, again, it was the spin. Dowell had to use that. Oh, he got crystals and he's a witch, and you had to use that to get out of the debate. Because the debate, he was finna get his hand handed to him. He was finna get it handed to him. And it's just sad, bro. He could have went to him and said this, this, and this. And I said that to Dowell. I said it. But he ain't gonna do nothing, y'all. I'm putting it out there. I've been doing it for 18 months. I don't expect to change. He's the chicken that he is, and he don't care that he's a chicken. He's gonna be, I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna be pleased that I even responded. He's gonna be pleased. And he's gonna be waiting on pins and needles. I don't know when I'm gonna do the live either. I'm gonna do it when the Most High tell me to do it. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but that's what he waiting on. He can't live without me responding and talking about him. I'm glad I don't pay rent, but guess what? If I did, it would be free from him, because I'm free in his mind. That dude. Think about that real quick, and I'm done. That video that you talked about today, that patron one that you played the audio of, right? Yes, he started off by saying, I'm going to break down everything that happened with the Straitway Kentucky East thing, right? You played 6, 7, 8 minutes of a 10-minute video. He didn't say one word about Straitway Kentucky East. All of it was about me.
Not really. About you in cahoots with Mitchell.
Yeah. And that man, and Becker. That man is 100% consumed. You think that's going to fly over well with you, but guess what? So many people back then understood and knew what the meetings were when the elders would go back to Elder Becker house. It wasn't just me. All us elders would do that one day out the feast. And it definitely wasn't no cahoots coming against Dowell to take him down. And that just, I mean, you broke that down real good, to take over the Straitway. Bro, nobody wants a wicked cult. Who wants that? If you would have passed away, we talked about all that. I used to tell them there ain't no way in hell I'm taking over. No. You can get Mitchell to take over. You can get Mir. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to be the one in charge. Matter of fact, I was the one who told me it may take 5 or 6 of us. You could do this, I can do that, you could do this, you could do this, but nobody like just gonna take over like for him. Because see, I didn't see none of us having the spirit this dude had. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. I'm landing the plane. I'm sorry, I didn't even mean to talk this long. I'm gonna land the plane.
Yes, sir. Bless you, Pastor. Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Bless you, my brother. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah. Appreciate you. Appreciate you even adding that in. Honestly.
No problem.
A lot of clarity. A lot of light.
Oh, yeah. That's all the people want, Brother Barak, is clarity. They want.
It's true.
They want closure to this. They could move on if Dowell would let them close, but guess what? He keeps lying to them. He keeps trying to bewitch the people instead of coming together like the books say and handle it together as a congregation. That's what we're supposed to do. Not you take authority that you don't have. And these numbnuts that you got under you allowed you to do it. And all of them are going to pay for it. All of them are going to pay for it. That judgment, it ain't going to miss nobody. I promise you that. It ain't missing none of y'all. All of you have sided with the side of wickedness. You've gone with this man. When the book says these leaders hearken to lies, Dowell has hearkened to lies on purpose. You are wicked. And you're finna see how wicked you are. Oh, you've been saying that forever. Okay. Wait and see then. Wait and see. I bet that word I said right there won't come. It won't fall to naught. I guarantee it's coming. And just like the book, I already broke it down spiritually for everybody. I had to go back and see the videos, y'all. Just like the Most High say, he gonna turn you over to your enemies. You go read Jeremiah 34 and then slide over to Isaiah 2. You gonna get turned over to your enemies. You think Warsheep is your enemy. He not. You think the message sent is your enemy. He not. You think servants of Yah is your enemy. We're not. We not. You're gonna find out who your real enemies are. Because Yah finna turn you over to them. He finna turn you over to your enemies. And let's see how much mercy they have on you. See, you should have repented like David did. And you should have took the penalty of the Most High judging you instead of letting the enemies judge you. That's your problem. That's your problem. See, you think I gotta wait you out. Oh, we can just do this and cause him all this pain, and in the end he won't get up. You gotta wait the Most High out though, Dow. A man that is not restricted by time at all. Man, it's gonna be something, bro. This is gonna be really, really bad. And it ain't gonna be a great day. It ain't something that everybody think they looking forward to it. No, you're not. No, you're not. You think you're looking forward to this day. You're really not, because you got no idea. You got no idea. The enemies of the Most High are merciless. They are merciless. And the stuff they're going to do, it's going to even make your nose curl up like, whoa, come on now. Wow. You heard the horrific stories about slavery and the stuff that took place. Imagine that's just the stuff they allowed to get out. Imagine the stuff they hid from us and that they've covered up and don't even come out, y'all. This is going to be a public spectacle too. Why? Because he does everything publicly. He set the table for himself, y'all. Because he gets on YouTube and tells everything, that's where it's all going to go down. You're going to see it all online. Watch. This is so sad. It's so sad, man. It's so sad. Brother Barack, like always, love you, brother. Appreciate what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being inspired. Keep being led. Keep living holy, bro. You hear me?
Bless you, bless you. Appreciate you, Pastor. Thank you so much.
Yes,
love you too as well. You and your family. Y'all continue to stay healthy. Stay at peace. You know, stay at peace. Yep. Hallelujah. Because I know y'all got plenty of that peace over there, man. Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah. We doing fine. We doing fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. I'm joyful to hear. But bless you. I appreciate you coming on, joining me live.
No problem.
All right,
shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.